As the new school year gets underway, federal agents are encouraging families to have important conversations about keeping students safe both on campus and when they're online.
As WSAV's Sarah Smith explains, those reminders come as a local school district remains under scrutiny.
When sharing information on sextortion and hoax threats, the FBI Atlanta office also gave us a little bit of insight into the investigation into Savannah-Chatham County Public Schools, cracking down on sexual predators in the classroom. This comes after the Department of Education launched an investigation into 20 school districts, whose 2023-24 data showed, quote, districts might not be addressing staff on student sexual misconduct appropriately. SCCPSS was one of the 3 Georgia schools on that list. The most recent case came to light in May of this year, a teacher charged with improper sexual conduct with a student and child molestation. Marlo Graham with FBI Atlanta couldn't share specifics on the investigation, but said their priority is making sure these crimes are reported but also prevented.
Kids need to be comfortable to tell a trusted adult if something is going awry. And so that could be mom, dad, that could be older sibling, cousin. Sometimes it could be a teacher or either another administrator at the school. At schools know they are mandatory reporters and they know the process in which they should follow to report any kind of misconduct of an adult and or abuse of a child.
If you believe your child may be the victim of an online threat, you're urged to call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Reporting in Savannah, I'm Sarah Smith, WSAV News 3, on your side.
An SCCPSS spokesperson said they are aware of the investigation by the Department of Education and the district intends to fully cooperate. They continue to say in part, quote, SCCPSS maintains procedures that are designed to keep students safe, including the removal of staff from student-facing positions when there are allegations of misconduct. That full statement is on our website.
In the Low Country, several boats were destroyed in an early morning fire at the Palmetto Bay Marina on Hilton Head Island. The fire was reported just after 4 this morning when 911 callers said that multiple boats and part of a dock were engulfed in flames. Hilton Head Island Fire Rescue says 10 boats were damaged, 7 were heavily burned and are likely destroyed, while 3 others suffered minor damage. Some of the destroyed boats were being used as homes, leaving their owners without a place to stay. One man says he was asleep when the fire broke out and had to escape as the flames spread around him.
I sleep right here, and I was awakened by the smoke and the extreme heat, and then popping, like the glass from that boat was just shattering. I was able to get up. I ran out, and there was no way I was going to get out this way. I was thinking about jumping in the water on that side, but I was able to come up and come down the back and get off the backside here.
Fire officials say marina fires can be especially difficult to battle because crews must work around the water while navigating docks and closely moored boats. The cause of this fire remains under investigation.
Meanwhile, a brush fire sparked by a lightning strike has been burning off and on for more than a week in Bullock County, and it continues to keep firefighters busy today. The Bullock County Fire Department says firefighters and multiple water tankers remain on Bowie Driggers Road, and this is to work alongside the Georgia Forestry Commission to contain the fire. Georgia Forestry aircraft assisting crews from above, helping target hotspots in heavily wooded areas that remain difficult to reach. The Bullock County Sheriff's Office continues to restrict traffic to area residents and emergency personnel. Crews will remain on scene until the fire is fully put out.
News around South Carolina now. The late Senator Lindsey Graham returning to the South Carolina State House one final time today as hundreds gathered in Columbia to honor his decades of public service. Graham's casket was carried down the Capitol steps before a procession made its way along Main Street to First Baptist Church of South Carolina for a funeral. Graham served South Carolina for more than 30 years from the state level to Congress. His family and friends were in attendance, including his sister, the now Senator Darlene Graham. South Carolina's governor reflecting on Graham's life and legacy.
In sadness over the loss of one of South Carolina's greatest sons, but also to celebrate this poor boy from a little town in South Carolina, as he called himself, to celebrate what he accomplished through grit, determination, character for his state, his country, and the world. His impact was enormous, and I'm confident, as are you, that there will never be another Lindsey Graham.
Graham will ultimately be laid to rest in a private ceremony about 2 hours from Columbia in Pickens, South Carolina.
WSAV is your local election headquarters. The race for Georgia governor is beginning to pick up steam, with candidates making stops across the coastal empire to connect with voters on the issues they say matter most. WSAV's Evan Smoke is joining us live now from our Statesboro Bureau with a look at today's campaign visit.
Today, Democratic gubernatorial candidate Keisha Lance Bottom hosted a healthcare roundtable in downtown Statesboro to hear from local workers and residents about issues that impact them. Through a panel discussion and a Q&A format, Bottoms heard from attendees on a variety of concerns involving healthcare access in the Statesboro region.
Access to rural health care is a huge problem, but one of the things that we heard today was it's not just about health care, it's about providing infrastructure for transportation. It's about making sure that where possible we can expand jobs in this area so that people have access to health insurance. What we know is that all of our issues are interrelated.
Discussions Wednesday highlighted Statesboro as the regional hub for health care for surrounding counties. Bottoms applauded local organizations for stepping up to help meet some of the medical needs of the population, but she says the state also has a role to play.
Southeastern Georgia is an important part of our state. It's reflective of so many of the challenges and even opportunities in our state. What was most uplifting today was just to hear how community comes together, but also we know that there's a responsibility of government.
Bottoms also weighed in on recent news that her opponent, Republican Rick Jackson, has purchased $87 million in ads.
Rick Jackson's trying to buy up this election, and he may have the money, but the people still have the power. Even with that $100+ million that he put into the race during the primary, Democrats still outvoted Republicans by 150,000 votes. I didn't spend even $3 million on the race, and I still got more votes than him.
Bottoms will face off against Jackson for the governor's seat later this year on November 3rd. Live from the Statesboro Bureau, Evan Smoke, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Evan, thank you. Meanwhile, the Republican nominee, Rick Jackson, spent last night in St. Mary's meeting with voters and hearing what's driving their decisions ahead of November.
A politician. He's a businessman, and I think we need more people like him.
Jackson announced his run in early February, going on to win the Republican nomination after defeating former Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones. During his stop in St. Mary's, Jackson didn't make a speech or talk to the media. You can stay up to date on the election in both South Carolina and Georgia anytime at WSAV.com/electionhq.
Now, Time Saver Traffic, sponsored by Arrowhead Clinic, the accident doctors, where it pays to get well.
Well, thankfully for our Wednesday afternoon commute, we have not been experiencing many major issues on the roadways. Drive time's a little bit longer than normal just due to heavier volume, just about an hour to get to Hilton Head from downtown Savannah, 26 minutes to get from Savannah to Richmond Hill. For the most part, things have been pretty quiet as far as scattered showers and storms, mostly in the southern part of the area. Some stronger storms over McIntosh County right now, pushing toward the coast with some gusty wind being a concern. A few more storms possible for tonight, but a drier pattern sets up for the next couple of days. We'll talk about that and weekend storm chances coming up.